Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers has the potential to be the best quarterback in 2024. Already one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. If he can take a step forward in a few areas, he could help Texas potentially win a national championship and maybe even be the first quarterback taken. But with that said, with the season right around the corner, let's talk about Quinn Ewers. Let's talk about the quarterback profile of Quinn Ewers and dive into him in a bit more detail, right? We saw him start in 2022, and he did some good things in 2022, was inconsistent at times, and we saw him take a big step in 2023 and really improve on some of those areas that he struggled with in 2022. So I think the questions in 2024 is, can you continue to take the next step, continue to develop, and stay healthy, right? You got a great surrounding cast around you. You have a really good opportunity to have a really damn good year this year. So with that said, let's talk Quinn Ewers. Let's dive into his profile. And we're also going to show some film of Quinn. It's broadcast footage, so I apologize. It's slowed down, but it's a good enough job to demonstrate what we're talking about in the video to kind of showcase our thoughts here. There's only 3 clips, and we'll watch that here in a few minutes. So let's go arm strength, accuracy, mobility, deep ball. Overall takeaway, we'll talk about Quinn, and then we'll have some kind of deeper analytical stats I think are good to know and kind of talk about, kind of help hammer home his whole game. So arm strength. I think Quinn has elite arm strength. However, it isn't always on display. Like the throws you want to see him really drive the ball on, at times he can do that, yes, but sometimes he'll float the ball whenever you want him to drive it, or he won't take as many deep shots or complete as many deep shots downfield. Now, with that said, doesn't mean he doesn't have a strong arm. I think he has an elite arm. People who are a lot smarter than me with quarterbacks who have played with him or have been around people that have coached him always talk about his arm strength, right? Accuracy. Ewers is an accurate quarterback on the short to intermediate throws, extremely accurate. A lot of times, Sark does a good job scheming guys open, and it helps quarterbacks be able to decide or make the decision who to throw to. And so a lot of times the receivers are open, and so that helps Quinn be accurate. So you want to consistently continue to do that, and then take some improvements or have improvements in your accuracy on deep balls, which it's been hammered home all off season last year. That's his improvement area is deep balls. We get it. We'll talk about it. Experience. So Quinn's entering year 3 as a starting quarterback. He's got a ton of experience, one of the more experienced and veteran quarterbacks in all of college football, besides Dylan Gabriel and Cam Rising, guys who are playing 6-7 years. But still, Quinn has a lot of starting experience. Now, mobility, Ewers isn't known at all by any means as a flashy athlete, but I think we saw him improve last year, right? We saw him be able to escape. We saw him have several rushing touchdowns. Last year, he had a 25-yard touchdown on the ground against Baylor, where he was able to showcase his mobility. So he was in much better shape last year than the season before. That's been kind of profiled and talked about. But while he's not going to threaten any DB to outrun, I think his legs are adequate enough to buy him time when he needs to and escape and use his legs when need to. All right, deep ball. The main area of improvement for him, like we talked about. He had 12 completions last year where the ball was thrown 20 yards or more in the air. That puts him, I think that puts him at last in the SEC. Let's see here. It would put him out of all, including the quarterbacks transferring in, the SEC projected quarterbacks, it would put him tied for second to last. So while Sark's offense doesn't always call for that, you don't always need that. I think I've talked about if you get the ball quickly to your playmakers, that's just as good as throwing a deep ball. You still want to see him improve in that area and take that next step. So the overall takeaway for Quinn, improve on the deep ball and show that you can be successful without using play action if the defense takes it away. When you're playing Georgia or you're playing Michigan and their upfront guys are just taking away the run game and play action isn't fooling anyone, you just drop straight back and rip it without the use of play action. I think that's the biggest step for Quinn, right? So play action, 55% of his passes were off play action. I think it led college football. Maybe Dylan Gabriel was slightly above him, but he had one of the highest quarterbacks where his completions were off play action. He was good off play action, 55%, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, 10.4 yards per attempt. So a lot of his deep balls came off play action, and 75% completion percentage compared to when he dropped straight back, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 6.7 yards per attempt, 61% completion percentage. And they did that, 45% of his dropbacks were straight dropbacks. So I think you want to see improvement in that area. Something else you want to improve on is getting the ball out quickly, not holding it on too long. He led the entire SEC. Again, I'm throwing him in the SEC quarterbacks from last year, but he would have led the entire SEC with sacks being his fault. 25% of the sacks were on him, according to PFF, right? So could be butchered here and there, but 25% of the sacks were on him. But at the same time, if you can make those small improvements, like Quinn has the potential to be the best quarterback in the SEC, improve on straight dropbacks, improve on getting rid of the ball quickly without taking unnecessary sacks, and continue to develop. Now we're going to watch some film of Quinn. We're going to see him pushing the ball downfield, dropping straight back. So he has the ability to do that. But he was also really good whenever the defense didn't blitz. So when they dropped 7 or 8, which is a sign of a good, smart, mature quarterback being able to read the defense, process the defense. So that's something that he did really well last year. So we're going to showcase that. We're going to showcase his ability to throw off play action, because even though I talked about you want to do more than throw off play action, it's still part of Sark's games, part of his scheme. And then we're going to show his ability overall just as a quarterback. So we've got 3 clips that we're going to watch. And if this is your first time tuning in, thank you. We're just a Big Quarterback Hub. We talk all things college quarterbacks. So if you like this type of quarterback niche content, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It does help the channel grow. So with that said, don't look at me anymore. Let's go ahead and dive into the film. All right, so here is a play of Ewers. They only bring 3, so they drop 8. And this was something that Quinn actually did really well against. That shows me he can process the defense, able to read the defense when they're dropping back 8. It's a good job. Again, his numbers are really good, like we talked about in the beginning of the video. He did good whenever the defense dropped 8. It wasn't as good against the blitz, but just a good example of showing what he did well. So we'll go ahead and watch this here. Let's see, and we can go ahead and play. So we're going to see starts looking straight middle of the field. He comes over to Whittington. Again, they only bring 3. Let's see, can I get this down out of the way? Yep, only bring 3. You can see looking, and then delivers the ball. Good job with Whittington. Again, sorry, I got to go slow. It's broadcast footage. I do apologize. Good job with Whittington there, and Whittington's able to make a good play after the catch. Break a tackle here, and then able to go on, right? So, again, just a good example of when Quinn is faced with 8 DBs and linebackers and coverage, able to process the defense and find the right place to go with the ball. Let's see if I can move forward just a little bit. The next play is something I want to showcase too. So next play is something that Quinn gets criticized often, and that's the deep ball. And again, yes, he needs to improve when you have, 11, 12 completions of 20 yards or more, whatever it was. Completion percentage was low in those passes. You still want to improve, even though he didn't need to throw the deep ball all that much last year to win. I think to take the next step, to win a championship, you're going to have to complete more. But the ability is there, right? The ability is there to complete these passes. We're going to see this is a pass to, it might be to, is it Mitchell? I think it's the touchdown to Mitchell. We're going to see pressure does get to him. His eyes remain downfield. Pressure does get to him. There's 4. So, again, no one's blitzing per se. A good example is showing that he's really good whenever the defense is dropping a lot of DBs. Pressure in his face. Really tough throw. But an accurate throw. Again, I apologize, it's going so slow. But ends up being a touchdown to Mitchell here, right? So again, 2 plays we just watched where the defense didn't bring pressure. They just brought either 3 or 4, and Quinn does a good job going through his progressions, and especially right here, throwing a deep ball for a touchdown. Let's go ahead and watch one more clip of Quinn on this kind of 3-clip film breakdown, and we'll wrap this up. So last clip that we'll watch of Quinn, and we're going to see this is the play action. We talked about how much better he is in play action compared to without the use of play action. That's a lot of times because of Sark's offense. That's okay. But we're going to see quick play fake here. It gets defenders out of position. Plenty of space for Worthy to catch in this little probably glance route, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to see. Ends up being a touchdown. So we'll go ahead and watch it. Let's see. Is it playing? It's playing. So we can see here. Play action again. You gotta go slow. Getting defenders out of position. Watch all the eyes of the defenders, and no one's coming over here. He's way off coverage. Has no shot to guard someone like Worthy, and Quinn is right there dialed in. Right. So if we keep going, ball comes out quick. No one's over there, or no one's able to get there in time. Yeah, there's that little kind of glance route there. So again, if the defender was in a different position, Worthy probably has a different option. But regardless, good job by Quinn. Good example of his ability to throw off play action, and it ends up being a touchdown, right? We're going slow motion. Does a knee hit? Don't think so. Touchdown. So a good example there by Quinn and how good he is off of play action. So that's 3 clips. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, so just a few clips, right? We saw him pushing the ball downfield with pressure in his face and the defense dropping 7. So he has the ability to do that. We saw him do well off play action, that last touchdown to Worthy, and the ability that Sark's offense, this getting defenders to have their eyes in the backfield, I think is something that you want to continue to do. So really good job by Quinn. I think he's got a chance to be the best quarterback in college football, but you want to take these next steps, get rid of the ball quickly, push the ball downfield, and just kind of keep that field a little bit bigger as opposed to getting smaller. But Texas fans, quarterback fans, as SEC fans, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Quinn? What's your quarterback profile? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What was I wrong about? What was I right about? Let me know your thoughts. Comment below. And again, if you like this quarterback SEC niche kind of content, we're going to be putting out SEC quarterback content through the entire year. You're going to have several just quarterback SEC shows weekly. So like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help. And we'll see you next time. Peace.